Hi, my name is Ronald Jackson. This is MBA Class 690. Brandon Schulte is the professor. And the company I chose is Hilton. So some of the things we'll go over today, we'll kind of give you a brief background of the company, as well as talk about what I thought about their mission and vision, the competency of their business model, and then we'll discuss the EFE matrix, the IFE matrix, the SWOT analysis performed, the CPM matrix performed, their last 3 years worth of financial records, and what their projected financial path will be, um, as well as the space QPSM matrices will also be discussed. And finally, to close it out, I will give some of my recommendations based upon the research performed. So the Hilton Hotel Company started in 1919 with the purchase of a small hotel down in Texas. And from there it grew to a multi-billion-dollar company. It is one of the most renowned hotel chains in the world. Um, their mission and vision started. They were both really strong statements. They both the mission really encompassed what the company was about, and the vision I think gave a clear view into what the goals of the company were. I believe their vision statement was something along the lines that they wanted to bring light and warmth, light into the world through the warmth of hospitality. And I mean, not only does that talk about how much they want to expand, they said the world, not just domestically, but the world um, through light and hospitality. And so they want to give their guests one of the best experiences they'll find in the country and the world. And they've done a good job up until this point. Their business model, they aren't terribly expensive. I mean, they have three separate tier of hotel. You have your 3 star, which is your business, your business casual. It's going to be reasonably priced, and it's going to be with top of the line amenities. And then they have, all the way up to the 5 star, your Waldorf Astoria, your banquet rooms. Those are going to go for a little more, but they're also going to be some of the nicer hotels you stayed in. Several reporting agencies, such as the U.S. Business Report guys, mentioned that Hilton ranks at the top in regard to service and hospitality and overall niceness of their hotel rooms. So that's something they're doing really well. Starting with the IFE matrix. Their strengths are their experience. I mean, they've been in the hotel business for 100 years. And so they weathered every storm from the Great Depression of the 30s to the economic boom of the 50s and 60s, and inflation in the 70s. They've been around, they've thrived. A big thing, another strength for them is their sustainable company culture. They have a culture where, in their company, where it's really supportive, and it shows in their high employee and their low employee turnover rate. Their employees want to stay and be immersed in a culture that supports them, which is definitely a strong suit for that company. Um, Technology integration and property diversity is the two big things for the company. Technology integration is important, but it's not as important as their property diversity. They're able to serve a wide range of customers. They have resort locations for families who want to go on vacation. They also have the 3 star hotel for the traveling business person who doesn't want to break his company's budget um, in hotel stays. Their leadership is extremely important. It's extremely doing well. Their leadership has actually guided them through several periods, and so they've done a good job there. And their reputation is also important because when you stay at a Hilton, there's kind of a name that comes with it, and that reputation helps them franchise out their company, what keeps their overhead costs down. Um, their biggest weakness is their debt leverage. They're highly leveraged in debt, which isn't conducive to long-term success, and that's something that should be addressed. Their opportunities, the increase in international travel um, around the world. It's the medium pay is increasing, and so a lot of families have a lot more discretionary income, and the trend is being set that traveling is no longer a luxury, but rather a necessary part of life. And so there's going to be a traveling boom in the next few years. And so it's important that they expand globally to meet the growing demand. One of their biggest threats is actually home sharing companies such as Airbnb, just because they offer lower rates and a more of a home feeling for people who want to know the land a little bit, and that could, with the easy it is to enter the industry through this method, it could spawn a lot more competition in their areas and thus lower their uh, room availability. And finally, the biggest issue I saw that's equal to Airbnb is the Marriott acquisition of Starwood. When Marriott, their biggest competitor, bought bought off Starwood, they absorbed all of their properties, which moved their total rooms to over 1.2 million. They're the only hotel brand in the world who has over a million rooms, ready to rent. And so with that, that's an issue for Hilton, and they really will need to continue to um, advance the amount of rooms they have. Looking over the CPM, for the most part, it was shown that the Marriott right now is the superior hotel chain. Just on various, the biggest difference between Marriott and Hilton is the international market penetration. I mean, Marriott has double the global market share than Hilton does at the moment. Other than that, they're pretty much neck and neck when it comes to everything else. Um, so, in using the space matrix, it shows that Hilton is their decision making is more on the defensive side, which is close to being extremely competitive. Which I think their trends are going to slowly but surely start getting them over to competitive as they have to make decisions based on the merger with their biggest competitor, Marriott and Starwood. SWOT analysis. There's a lot of different strategies that came up throughout this experience, but the biggest thing will be expanding into the international market, utilizing their previous experience. I mean, they have 100 years of experience in the hotel world, and 60 years of that, 70 years of that, have gone directly into international hotel. And as a matter of fact, they held the biggest market share of global hotels until they lost ownership in those with a failed partnership with Pan Am. And so the company has that experience, and they should definitely utilize that moving forward. Financials. You can see their operating profit margin rising. 2016 was a really bad year for them, and it was also the last year they owned a majority of their properties. Starting in 2017, they began franchising out their properties more, and you see the total value of the company skyrocket immensely here, with their earnings per share nearly tripling, and also their net profit margin spiking and then starting to plateau out here around 10%. Um, and as we go down, all of their ratios are increasing. The biggest issue that's here and it's not decreasing as much as it should is this debt to equity. This number is actually rising, and with this high leverage of debt, it can prove detrimental to the company. So, in all, the Hilton is doing a great job itself operating. It's one of the top hotel chains in the world. The biggest thing for Hilton is to increase their number of hotel rooms by 15%, both domestically and internationally, to compete with their biggest competitor, Marriott, JW Marriott, who has increased their rooms available to 1.2 million. Consistently keep that net profit margin above 10%. That's just good for business. If they can get that their earnings per share greater than $3 per share, it might entice more people to buy their stock, which will in turn give them the funds they need to build new hotels and get those franchised out. And finally, expand their product segment to other industries. So Hilton is integrated vertically due to the fact that all of their hospitality needs are manufactured in house. So the towels they use, the curtains and everything like that is made by them. So if they started selling these at a vendor such as Bed Bath and Beyond and such, that can be another means of income as well as what they primarily do. And so that'll be that. I appreciate your time and um, listening and um, just kind of hearing what I had to say about Hilton. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.